I'm the editor-in-chief of The Bison here at Harding. I'm a senior journalism major from Michigan. I think being in the position that I'm in, I do know more about the community than the general campus does because we do cover some community news. Just because Harding is in Searcy and faculty lives in Searcy, and I think that we cover a lot of new restaurants, a lot of new places to go, things to do, things going on at Zion, events, to kind of bring awareness to Harding that there is more to do in Searcy that they don't always know about. Part of the Bison's job is to inform, and I think part of informing is telling students about what it is they can do outside of Harding. And a lot of times there's not things to do at Harding, or they're not unique things that students are interested in, and sometimes students just want to get out but they don't want to go far. And so I think that's just part of our job, is just to investigate and look into some things that Searcy has or White County has going on that we can inform students about and give them information. Things I like about Searcy specifically are the restaurants that we have that are so unique, like Burrito Day and Savor and Sip. Those are really fun and places that college kids like to go to. It really has a young, I think, draw to it. It's something different than a chain restaurant that you would usually see at any other city, especially like back home where I'm from in Metro Detroit. We don't have anything super cool and just a small town feel where people know each other. So thank you for helping me feel that small town feel, and also for working with the Bison and student news and connecting the Harding community to the rest of Searcy.
I moved to Searcy in 1997, just before we built the Reynolds Center here at Harding University. So I've been here for about 21 years. I grew up in a bigger city. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've always liked living in a smaller community. I think you get to know people better. You tend to just feel a closer part of the community than if you're in a bigger city. One of the things I really like about Searcy is that it's not an isolated community. We have a lot of students come literally from all over the world, all over America. So even though you're in the middle of Searcy, Arkansas, in a relatively small town, you're really interacting with people literally from all over the country and all over the world. When I came to Harding University, we didn't have a radio station. It took us about 6 to 8 years after I got here to put an FM station on the air. The neat thing about our FM station is that we serve most of central Arkansas, and that covers about 10 counties. And so one of the advantages of doing that is that our radio station reaches a lot of people that Harding University normally would not reach. And we have a lot of people in Searcy and in White County and in central Arkansas who listen to our station. For our students, the thing I encourage them to do, we kind of have a phrase, we're live, local, and linked. I want them to communicate as though they're live, as though they're on the air, so people get a sense that there's a live human body there. Local, we want to focus on local things, emphasize local events as much as possible. And then we want to be linked to the listener and linked to the music. One of the things I encourage them to do is visualize that person out there, that one person. You're not talking to a mass audience. We don't know how many people listen to our station, but you're really not talking to a mass audience. You're talking to one person, that person sitting in their office or sitting at home or sitting in the car. So it's a challenge for people who've never done radio to kind of visualize that and just understand that you are talking to people in the community. KVHU has been on the air for about 12 years in Searcy, and we've had a really good relationship with the community, and we appreciate the community listening to us and the community working with us.
I grew up here in Searcy, on the west side of town for most of my life. I went to Searcy Public Schools growing up, and I came to Harding. Getting to know people outside of Harding before I came to Harding is really cool, because I feel like a lot of people at Harding have trouble really getting to know the people in the surrounding area and like people they go to church with and things like that. But kind of having like a insight into like how welcoming and caring most people in Searcy are, where I can go to Walmart or just anywhere in town and just kind of know that there's a good chance I'll see someone I know and someone that really cares about how I'm doing. It was very easy to go about like daily life, just kind of in your own head and just get through today and not really look out around for other people. But I think kind of like having that small town community aspect has helped like connect with people when you can see that something's not right and things like that. I think sometimes people can get kind of like, well, there's nothing to do in Searcy, but in reality, like, as long as people are here in Searcy, there's always things to do. I think a big thing also with Searcy is like having an emphasis on education and like Searcy schools being so great, no matter where you go. And so people in town genuinely caring about the future of like young kids and things like that. And how we have great teachers and great volunteers pretty much everywhere you go, and great role models everywhere. So just thank you for being great examples. Searcy was a fantastic place to grow up. In some ways I feel a little sheltered, but at the same time I know like I had a great place to like learn and grow without having to worry too much like about whether I was getting a good education or whether I was going to get wrapped up in the wrong things. And I feel like Searcy is a great place for like raising kids and like growing up.
My history with Searcy and with Harding goes back to the fall of 1975 when I came as a freshman from Memphis, where I grew up. During my time at Harding, I fell in love with Searcy. I loved the town, but I had a real limited view of Searcy because for me, not having a car, it was from campus to the square. But I loved Searcy. I grew up in Memphis, but I always thought it would be neat to live in a place like Searcy, Arkansas. Didn't think I would have that opportunity, but lo and behold, it turned out that I did. And in the fall of 1991, I was invited by the College Church of Christ, a block off of the Harding campus, to come back and be their preaching minister. And I did that for 14 years. And I remember early on in our time there, we were out at the softball fields with our daughters who were young and playing softball at the time. And I remember saying to my wife that our Searcy was all wrapped up in Harding, but being out at the softball field, I said, you know, I would want to live in this town even if Harding were not here. This is just a really neat place. And Searcy has always fit us incredibly well. The town and gown challenge is always a challenge, whatever university and wherever it is. I think the things that are the biggest challenge to relationship is that we don't know each other. And to the degree that we don't know each other, we tend to be suspicious or concerned, at least, maybe distant. And I think that anytime we get to know each other better, we like each other better. I think the more that our students are out in the community and get to know the community, the more they love this place. And I think that the more the town gets to know the students, they're 18 to 22-year-olds. So they're in the process of becoming, but they have big hearts. And I think the more people get to know them, the more the town and gown relationship just gets knitted together. Searcy is the perfect place for Harding University. We love at Harding University, we love having Searcy on campus for the Christmas lights during the month of December, or for American Studies speakers, where leaders from around the world come here and it's a free event. The more we know each other, the more we've actually talked to each other, the more we've been at each other's table, the more I've been in a business and dealt with somebody, I really do think the more we like each other, because we have an awful lot in common. Thank you, Searcy, for being the perfect hometown for Harding University. And thank you for loving our students. And thank you for giving them jobs. Thank you for understanding when they are in the process of growing up and when they're a little too loud or a little too silly. For being patient with that and understanding that you get to be a part of this incredible experience where the world comes to Searcy for 4 years of their lives, and then we send them out to change the world in all kinds of incredible ways. And thank you, Searcy, for being a part of that.